Your manager just asked for a sales performance report, running totals, rank by region, and a 7-day rolling average. You have 2 hours. You could spend 90 minutes writing nested subqueries and Python pandas code. Or you could write 4 lines of SQL using window functions and be done in 15 minutes. That's what today is about. I'm Varath, let's get into it. Here's what we're covering. We'll start with the core mental model, how window functions actually differ from group by. Then a real before and after comparison with code you can steal. After that I'll walk you through 5 functions you'll reach for every week: rank, lag, sum over, rolling average, and NTILE. We'll hit the 3 mistakes that trip everyone up. And we'll end with the business impact. Here's the problem window functions solve. On the left you've got the old way, a correlated subquery inside a subquery just to rank sales reps by region. Count the lines. It's 11 lines of SQL for one ranking. It runs a separate subquery for every single row in your outer query. On a table with 1 million rows, that's 1 million subqueries. It's slow, it's unreadable, and it breaks silently on tied values. Now look at the right side. Same result. 9 lines. 1 pass through the data. Rank over. Partition by region, order by total revenue. That's it. No subquery. No temp table. Handles. Ties correctly by design. Here's what changed. Instead of asking SQL to look up comparison values row by row, you're telling it to slide a window across your sorted data and compute the rank as it goes. One scan. All the answers. Every time you see a correlated subquery doing comparisons or rankings, there's a window function waiting to replace it. And it's always faster. Always cleaner. Let's understand why. Let's get the mental model right, because this is where most tutorials go wrong. When you use group by, SQL collapses your rows. You had 10 rows per region. After group by, you have 1. The detail is gone. You can never see which rep sold what within that group without writing another subquery. Window functions are different. The over clause tells SQL to compute something across related rows without collapsing them. Every original row stays in your result. You get the aggregate and the detail at the same time. Partition by is your grouping. It's like group by, but it doesn't collapse anything. It just defines the scope of each calculation. Partition by region means each region gets its own independent window. The rank function restarts from 1 for each region. Order by inside the over clause defines the sort order within that window, not the order of your final result, the order of calculation within each partition. And rows between is your frame. It's how you say things like the last 7 days or everything up to this row. Most people never use it. Once you understand it, you'll use it constantly. Think of it as a camera that pans across your sorted data, calculating as it goes, without ever losing the rows it's already processed. Every window function follows the same 4-step pattern. Once you see it, you'll never forget it. Step 1. Partition. You define your groups with partition by. Think of it as drawing walls around your data. Sales by region. Partition by region. Revenue by product. Partition by product ID. Each partition is its own independent calculation. Step 2. Order. Inside the over clause, you order by whatever determines the sequence. For rankings, it's the metric you are ranking on. For running totals, it's the date column. The order by inside over is completely separate from the order by at the end of your query. Step 3. Frame. Rows between lets you say exactly which rows count. Rows between. Unbounded preceding and current row means everything from the start of the partition up to this row. That's your running total. Step 4. Calculate. The function runs once per row across its window. The row stays in your result, enriched with the calculated value. That's it. That's the whole model. Let's walk through real code. This is the pattern I reach for on literally every analytics Project a running cumulative total combined with a 7-day rolling average. First select where pulling date, region, and the daily revenue. Standard stuff. Then the first window function, sum of revenue over. Partition by region, so each region gets its own running total that resets independently. Order by date, newest rows get added as we go forward in time. Rows between unbounded preceding and current row, this is what makes it a running total. Unbounded preceding means go all the way back to the first row of this partition. Current row means stop here. So for 15th March, the total includes January, February, and the first 15 days of March. Every day builds on the last. The second window function, average of revenue, but with rows between 6 preceding and current row. This is a 7-day rolling average. Not the average for the month. Not the average for the whole region. Just the last 7 days. When you plot this, it smooths out daily noise and shows you the actual trend. Both window functions run in one query. No Python. No temp tables. No joins. The database computes both in a single pass over the data, right where the data lives. I wrap it in round with 2 decimals because your finance team will ask for that, and it's better to add it now than explain floating point numbers later. 3 mistakes I see in production code every week. Mistake 1, order by without rows between. Here's what catches people when you add order by inside your over clause without specifying a frame. Most databases default to range between unbounded preceding and current row. That sounds the same as rows. It isn't. Range uses logical boundaries based on values, not physical row positions. On tied dates, it includes all rows with the same date in your current row frame. Your running total is wrong and you won't know until someone questions a number in a report. Always be explicit with rows between. Mistake 2, partition by everything. I've seen people add 15 columns to partition by because they want complete accuracy. What they get is thousands of tiny windows with 1 or 2 rows each, and query performance that's worse than the subquery they replaced. Mistake 3, window functions in the where clause. SQL evaluates where before it evaluates over. You'll get an error or wrong results. If you need to filter on a window function result, wrap the whole thing in a CTE or subquery first. Then filter in the outer query. Let me give you 3 numbers that matter for your career. 9 out of 11. That's the ratio from a recruiter I spoke to last year. 9 out of 11 senior data engineer technical screens include at least one window function question. Not as a bonus question. As a baseline filter. If you can't write rank over partition by from memory, you are getting screened out before the system design round. 40 seconds to 2 seconds. That's a dashboard at a fintech company I worked with. They had a pandas pipeline that joined and aggregated on every refresh. We rewrote it as a sum over inside the warehouse. Same numbers. 40 times faster. The dashboard went from unusable to instant. $110,000. That's the US salary level where window functions start appearing as a required skill in job listings, according to current postings. Below that, they're a nice to have. Above that, they're the admission ticket. You want to be on the right side of that line. 5 things to take away from this video. 1. Anytime you have a subquery that ranks, counts, or aggregates within a group, there's a window function that does it cleaner and faster. That's the rule. 2. Partition by is your group. Order by is your sort sequence within the group. Rows between is your frame. These 3 parts define every window function you'll ever write. 3. Row underscore number for unique ranks. Rank when ties are possible. Lag and lead when you need the previous or next row. NTILE when you are bucketing into quartiles or deciles. 4. Window functions run after group by. You can mix them with aggregates in the same query. 5. Practice on your own data today. Grab a table you know well, add a rank over or a sum over, and watch what comes back. That's how it clicks. If this video saved you from writing another nested subquery, hit subscribe. I put out a new micro skill every week, all of them built on real production patterns. Next week we're covering DBT incremental models, why your pipeline rebuilds 50 million rows every night, and how to fix it in 20 minutes. See you there.